No idea. I think it's posterity.
Posterity, I think.
I don't know. If
Are you
Adrian,
I was going to say, are you enjoying New Freedoms, Lisa?
not really.
No.
I kind of so one part of me is saying, get out there, Lisa, go, go, go. And the other part of me is saying, well, I'm really comfortable here in my little home office. Do I have to?
I know.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfy.
Yeah, that's it.
And it saves so much more time.
That's the thing, isn't it? But the
Mm.
thing is, as well, we need to enjoy ourselves. Adrian's got into it already. Adrian's going out on weekends and back into having.
Well, we'll try and get out on weekends.
Yeah, that's
But still staying home, working from home, and everything like that.
Yes.
A couple people have mentioned to do one-to-ones in person. But
and how did that make you feel, Adrian?
Oh, I don't know. It's the convenience of doing it online is.
I know. That's how I felt too. Someone said,
in the other states,
let's do some face-to-face.
Yeah. In the other states, because they haven't had that same length of time as we've had. Up in Brisbane, particularly, they're pretty much going the opposite. They're almost like 8 out of 10 is face-to-face one-to-ones. And even Perth, I mean, Perth more so, Ben just drives around in his car all over the shop, right? So,
yeah. I mean, there's definitely something to be said for them face-to-face.
Yep. So, yeah, talk of Ben. See, all I have to do is mention their names, and as soon as I mention them, they just magically appear on the screen. Ben,
like magic.
Ben's in Perth, so I'll let you, Adrian, you do the welcoming normally, so I'll stay still.
Morning, Ben. Are you okay?
Yeah, go
on. Good morning, Hannah. How are you going?
Morning, guys. I'm good. How are you? Hi, Lisa. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Hannah. Where's Hannah based?
Brisbane.
Oh, we were just talking about Brisbane. How lovely.
Yeah. It looks like Ben's got his. Are you with us now, Ben?
Yes. I am with you. Good morning. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Ben.
Adrian asked a question of you, and then you just disappeared. It's like.
Oh. Yes, I had trouble getting my headphones working. Adrian, what's up? What you ask?
Just how you're going. How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was all right. Can't complain. Standard stuff. Went to casino, lost money. The standard shenanigans every time I go out.
Stop going to the casino.
I do. I really do. You're not going to hear an argument from me.
How did you go with Willerton Sports Club? Did you go on? Oh, sorry, the basketball club.
I had a call on the Friday, and it went all right. The call went all right. The standard marketing, generic ass question. What do you think we could do for the business? What do you think we could do for you? What's our mission and values? Have you checked out? Yada yada yada. So it was all fine. That went all well. Hopefully I'll hear.
That's good for a sports club asking those sort of questions. A basketball club, I should say. That's ahead of the time. That's
yeah. Great. So that was all right. That was fine. Did my research beforehand. I was out. I will admit. I did double book myself. I forgot I double booked myself. So that was all right. They were quite understanding. I did just also get an email back from a job I applied for a couple of weeks ago, and it was actually for a recruitment agency called Verve, and I had not heard of Verve before, and wowee, they are very, very strict. They send you an email, and it's got a table you're supposed to fill out. So you fill out a table, you send it off, and they read it and say, yeah, we'll do a telephone interview with you. But the way they structured the telephone interview, it is like no other telephone interview I've ever had. It's like it's yes or no answers. You can't ask to have the questions repeated, otherwise the interview will end. Unpreparation will result in the interview ending. You do not. It's like really strict, and I was like, wow, this is intense. Do not want to apply for this job now. Like, this is scary.
Okay, well, that's good. We don't want you to apply for it either. All right. I'm already worried about how many hats you wear. Right. Who else we got? Adrian?
Good morning, Hayley.
Morning. How is everyone?
Good.
Good. Hayley, did you behave yourself over the weekend? the best question.
As far as I can remember.
Okay.
Hey, that's always a good weekend then.
So good catch up with the friends then.
Always good to catch up with the friends.
Where's Hayley based?
I'm in Malvern.
Okay.
In Melbourne, yeah.
Okay. So you weren't at Black Rock, were you, yesterday?
No, not yesterday.
You haven't seen the news about Black Rock?
What happened?
Half Moon Bay? You haven't? No one here has been watching the news?
I didn't see.
I went out at 10 a.m. and didn't get home till like.
Was it because there were so many people there, or what happened? What
They
happened?
had well, you know, at Half Moon Bay, have you? I'm assuming you
Black
know.
Rock's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, at Half Moon Bay, if you go to the right, there's a rocks and cliffs, and you can almost hide behind the rocks. Like there's a little bit of almost a little separate room of beach because there's rocks on each side. So some people decided to have a party down there. There was a DJ, like a full-on dance party, like there. And then other people, because they were on Snapchat, saw it, so they started coming too. It ended up being a full-on beach party that the police had to break up.
No, I don't attend silly events. I wish
gonna
they
say-
were allowed.
Well, that's the only thing. I mean, it's sort of. I went to Brunswick for dinner, and it sort of felt like everybody was back and, enjoying. But the thing is, there isn't the events to go to, is there? That's the only difference. Is that you kind of can go to these closed, restricted things, but yeah, it's getting back to the events. I think even in Perth, Evelyn and Ben, but even in Perth, they're still not running a whole stack of events, are they? Or what's the event scene like now?
Some events are still happening to some extent. A lot of the bigger events, I say big for Perth, are kind of being continuously pushed back. So I know Ice Cream Factory, that happens normally in December, and that's been pushed back till March.
Can't you guys stand up and dance now?
We can stand up and dance.
Oh,
I mean, okay, right. I say we. I can't stand up and dance. Like, end of.
No, but like the government allows you guys to.
You can
I
dance.
can't believe I live in a world where my government tells me if I can dance.
Isn't that
Can
Footloose?
dance or not.
That's the world we live in.
Isn't that Footloose, right?
Oh god.
All I know is, as far as dancing goes, I make a much better dancer than I do singer. So that's the upside.
I'm great at both.
Equally
Depends
terrible.
how many drinks you have, Steve. You're great at both.
Yeah. How are you? How was your weekend, Emily? It looks like Anthony's having a few internet issues, which is to be expected, given he's in the country and he's with Optus. So I think that's to be expected.
Mine was good. I actually it was brunch for me, nighttime for them. I had a catch up with my friends back at home, which was really nice. I haven't spoken to them in a long time.
Yeah. Whereabouts was that?
Well, I was here. They're in New Jersey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I must have heard. I didn't hear the online part. It was a Zoom catch up.
Oh yeah, no. My friends from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had it was interesting catching up with Tiz on Friday,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
It turns out Tiz is marrying someone from New Jersey, and he's from near where I grew up, and she knows a BNI in the area, so I can go visit them.
Yeah.
I was really lucky.
Yeah. Which is pretty coincidental, I would say. Looks like Hannah's having a few issues as well. She's in and out and in and out. So
yeah, it's a bad technology day today. It's all the sound keeps crackling every now and then. So I'm changing internet. I just restarted my computer, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, it seems to be okay now.
There we go. And Evelyn's got big news for us. She's been headhunted by the gaming industry.
Yeah. Well, basically, I got offered a position not very randomly, but like very abruptly kind of, and I found out about it yesterday on a Sunday. So yeah, I'll be doing something for a gaming startup, and I'll be leaving Dify. This will be my last day, or my last week.
Second last day. We need to have a handover meeting tomorrow so that I can say that you're, and wish you well. Yeah. But It's funny because you'll see when it comes to wins of the week, I actually used an Ebby fried picture.
Oh no!
So we'll make it a last. As he said, it's a celebration of Ebby fried. If you're not following Ebby fried, Lisa, get onto it. We're all over it here at Diffy now.
Eddie Fried.
Ebby fried gamer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I reckon we might start Anthony List. And he's clearly going to be in and out. I'm assuming he's still on the parents' farm up there in remind me, wherever he does the hay stacking. What's the name of it? What's his parents' farm? Anybody? Haley? Adrian, have you been listening?
No.
He just says country Victoria, so
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Yeah, it's anyway, we'll have to ask him, but I'm not sure we'll hear too much. Well, in fact, we're going to have to change our plans, Adrian. We were going to ask. That was a bad decision to think. Oh, let's ask Anthony today on a bad connection day. I think we might have to swing into our most recent public speaker, who's very confident. Let's go with Haley instead. Do you want to do our welcome to country, Haley?
Sure. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Kulin Nation. We offer our respects to the owners of these traditional lands and through them to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, past and present.
Oh, and by the way, it was remiss of me with everybody in the room not to introduce and say welcome, Lisa. Welcome to our meeting. It's really fantastic to have you along. And Lisa will share. She'll do a little 60 seconds, like we're all going to do, and then she'll give us a little bit of a bit of her backstory, I think, as a presentation today as well. So that's awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Do you want to pick one of these, Haley? Which one did you go with the other week?
I haven't done this before. I'm gonna pick have fun and do good, because I think it works for both our team. Like, obviously we love to have a laugh and have fun, and we like to do good for our clients, but also the fact that we do those B1G1 projects, and obviously we saw the results of them a couple of weeks ago. It's just really good. Good job, everyone.
And I should mention to you, Lisa, Haley gave a presentation, her first at BNI Business Builders, which are based in Camberwell, and she received an absolute ovation at the end. So she smashed it out of the park. It was fantastic.
Congratulations.
It was so good.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Really? You wouldn't know it.
Through it.
You did fantastic.
Making like a leap on my side of the screen, Steve.
Oh, really? Okay. So on here, so we're just going to skip through this part today because I'm not going to. My presentation is this Friday, but I've just put my presentation into this slide deck just so you can see some of the things I've updated. In actual fact, I'll talk about it later. But one of the things is just making a note now that Coin is, we received that. Andy and I were working through the Excel spreadsheet with all the projects. Because Andy had been asked the question as part of the WBN, how do you guys go doing B2B? And in actual fact, there's two things. So firstly, we went down that list and saying, well, actual fact, a heavy portion of our businesses that we work with are B2B businesses, right? As well as Dify Social itself is B2B. So now the next time if Andy gets asked the question is, well, what do we do and how do we work with B2B? We'll be ready to go. We're really, nowadays with social media, it doesn't really make that much difference. We can still target your existing community. But then the other thing is around probably the previous slide where we talk about, this one here, where we talk about innovation. It's fair to say that I would say 50% of our most recent clients, so our last 10 clients, have come either via Coin or via Sydney, right? So it's a really interesting time for us is that we, just so you know, Lisa, we don't actually have a marketer in Sydney. And yet through the BNI network, we have two people that we're working with in different chapters, two big chapters who are actually helping us out in Sydney. And yeah, so Sydney and Coin is really starting to pick up around the BNI side of stuff as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And the model, I'll just talk about that in a little bit. I was hoping Jakey would be back with us, so I'm hopeful. So Adrian and I always have our one-to-one on a. So now there's not many pieces of the puzzles left, folks. We've got Anthony as a piece of the puzzle left on our screen at the moment because he can't get on the meeting. But Anthony went for the second time to Prosperity last Friday, and that is sounding really positive. So we're really hopeful of getting Anthony on a Prosperity. That'd be a Friday meeting. Andy sent me a LinkedIn DM saying, woohoo, I was accepted into WBN, which is fabulous. And so I was saying to Lisa earlier, the great thing is Andy helps me quite a bit in the west of Melbourne, but also Andy can help us, particularly with the online meetings of not just being with WBN, but also subbing at times and being involved in the BNI side of things. And Jake has been unwell. So Jake's been unwell for a month or so, but the prognosis was sounding good last week. He's not here with us today, but let's hope that it's still maintaining an upward trend to feeling fit and well again. And we've heard from Evelyn, and we're all about good story in, good story out. We don't like losing people. In fact, I really don't like losing people, but I don't hold it against those people. At the end of the day, we just want people to do well. And Evelyn, I feel sure this has been a good period for Evelyn to sort of really suss out, what she's really passionate about. And I guess we're just a little bit of that. It was good to see that little bit of Evie Fried gaming and me, for me, just to learn that little bit more. I feel like I've sort of stolen the thunder of a few celebrate our wins last week, but we try and talk about these. Adrian spoke about the fact that he won the cup sweep, which was good. And we got two things for Andy because we got Councillor Peter into power again for the 7th time. I've talked about BNI Prosperity. We've talked about Hayley giving a sensational. That's actually been on record. That was on record. So that and Ben, just so you know, I'm kind of pushing a little bit of a brand awareness, exposure, or actual fact engagement for both of you guys. So Ben, I'm promoting you into just the Perth market, and for Hayley, that sort of CBD down the Southern Corridor, just so people know you've given that presentation. You will see that. For us, Emily, 3 weeks in a row with out there branding? Nothing to see here in terms of the Hootsuite scheduling.
Yeah, and I had just happened to schedule for next week as well, so he said that's good through there too.
Awesome stuff. So, and then Hannah's pretty excited about the fact that her business cards are about to arrive. She's not able to give them out in Brisbane, but at least she's arranged for them to be delivered, right? So that will be good. If Hannah, you're still on mute. Hello, Hannah. Hannah maybe can't hear us. And then we've talked about...
It's all scratchy. Sorry, Steve. I can sort of hear it goes scratchy in and out. Are you talking about the audit?
No, I was talking about... no, you can talk about that for this week. I think I might be talking about it too. But I was talking about business cards.
Oh, yeah, that's getting done now.
Yep. And then we've talked about Ebby Fried. There you go, Lisa. That's what you expect to see down here. That's a streaming video for gamers, basically. And so just make sure you got the volume up. It's a bit of fun. And so, Lisa, do you want to? So what we will do is, do you want to just introduce yourself to us and just let us know about? What would you normally say in a BNI meeting when you're introducing and doing your stand-up 60 seconds?
Yeah, so we've got 45 seconds in our BNI. So we have to keep it
here.
Woo, wow. Extra time. So my name is Lisa. I'm from Innovient Business Coaching, and I'm a business coach. And most people don't know what a business coach does. So to tell you the truth, every business coach does something a little bit different, just depending on their own strengths. But I work with businesses, business owners who have 2 or 3, maybe 4 staff. So they're of that size where they're used to working in their business themselves, and they're not really used to handling staff, and they're not really knowing how to grow past that level. So I help them grow.
Yeah,
that's me.
Is there anyone in particular? I know we've seen you at a number of events. Is there any sort of industries that you particularly like to work with, or have a preference, or feel like you're better
look? Most of my I wouldn't say most, but let's say 70% of my clients are tradies.
Okay.
And that's generally because they're really great on the tools, but not so good at running a business. So they just need someone to help them, show them and train them and help them fill the gaps of what's missing in their business to make it a bit easier for them. They're doing everything the hard way.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think the other thing about trades, which they do need some, they do seem to be good at, is growing their business, though, right? Because they sort of have this apprenticeship model, which sort of says, well, okay, that's the step to growing business. Get a van, get another van, get an apprentice. Is that your experience? But then they just need that help, right?
Yeah. So they get the van, they get the apprentice, and then they may even get another van and another apprentice. But their mindset and the way that they process work is still back to being a one-man individual team. So it's about helping them change the way they think and the way they run their team, because they're still running them as individuals instead of as a team.
Yeah.
Because if you're on the soccer field and everyone's just playing an individual game, make a goal.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we haven't done lots and lots of work with tradies, but at the same time, it's certainly something that I think, Andy's been doing a really good job with 1s and 2s plumbing. So it's something that we do enjoy working with. Oh, Adrian does a good job with Canny Electrics. So that's great.
I'm thinking the people who have I sent to you, Steve, over the time. Actually, one of my conveyancers uses you, Conveyancing Lab.
Yep, that's Andy as well, yep.
Yeah, and
personal independence providers is the main one.
That's right.
That I recall, and that's a great business. That's a really good business, maintenance side of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're builders, sort of building, construction, carpentry, and they had all their systems, but there's just gaps.
Yeah. No,
to make things work smoother. Yeah.
Fun fact: both Lisa and that's not good. I've just gone a blank. Lisa and Brad are both born in the same year as I'm born. I'm not going to tell you when that was, but I'm just. In terms of
that is a fun fact.
In terms of avatar for Dify Social, these guys know that there's usually a swing of about 10 years, either younger than me or 10 years older than me. They happen to be bang on. They're in the middle.
That's very true.
So thanks, Lisa. Awesome. This is my wife, who's just also walked behind me, but Huong, I think might jump on in the next 10 minutes or so. But Huong has helped me, particularly with the strategic side of things of the business, but also just from a HR and mechanics as well, so that you know that Huong helps us out. But she works full time at Ernst & Young, so she doesn't tend to get too much time to hang out with me. She's generally upstairs, and I work from the garage. Rightio, Adrian, what are we going to focus on this week?
So as you can see on the slide here, this week we're going to be talking about our disc profiles. So everyone, if you can remember your disc profiles.
Remember or do what I had to do, is look it up on your showcase page. The other thing maybe just to consider while you are doing that, if you have to look it up, is what you think that might require you at times to be mindful of when you're sort of dealing with other people, right? Depending on the type of disc profile you actually have. All right, let's go. So good morning, everybody. My name's Steve Hubbard, and I'm your Dify social media marketer here in Footscray, Melbourne, where I've lived, worked and played for over a dozen years, originally from Fremantle. Now, my disc profile is very high influence with a high dominance. Now, the high dominance, I think, at times needs to be reined in, because I can be quite overbearing, I think, for certain people. So I need to sort of try and get less excited and not be too loud. So often that means it's very good when I'm working with somebody like Adrian. He's a very nice balance for me. So that's my this side of things. I'd really like to an introduction at the moment. Sorry, my win for the week. Well, we had a great audit and consult with Awards Australia, so that's a really good opportunity. They're Melbourne based, but they do awards and events throughout Australia. and particularly with Channel 7. So there's a really good link there. And this week, I'd really like to be introduced to multi-outlet, sort of your franchise type printer. So Minuteman Press, Snap, who we've worked with in the past, but Quick Copy was who Hannah has been sort of talking about. So yeah, your local Quick Copy, I'd love an introduction to. Steve Hubbard from Dify Social. Over to you, Adrian.
Thanks, Steve. I am a marketing graduate from VU, and I'm a Dify social media marketer here in Maidstone, where I've lived, worked, and played for 7 years. And my disc profile is formalist, so I have to keep in mind to inform my clients to sort of stick within working hours, so we don't get a lot of contacts from them sort of on the weekends and sort of outside those times. My win for the week would be the meeting I had with my contact sphere from my chapter. We're making some progress with our Facebook group that we're starting. And this week I would really like to connect with trades as we are continuing to seek to build the trades in our BNI chapter. So I'm looking to connect with plumbers this week. Thanks. Next up is Andy.
Good morning, all. My name's Andy. I'm your Dify Social Marketing graduate from RMIT University. I live here in Sunshine North, Brimbank Council, where I've lived, worked, and played my whole life. My disc profile is coach. So I love doing the, planning and setup, coaching clients through that. It's awesome. My wins for the week is joining WBN. I got accepted, so that's a good win. I would really like to work with and for businesses in the financial services, so accountants. Up next is Anthony.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a marketing graduate from La Trobe University. I'm your Dify social media marketer here in Epping, where I've lived, worked, and played for the last 4 years, and I'm originally from country Victoria. My disc profile is coach, which I'm a pretty good people problem solver, I think. That's what it said. And my wins for the week is I had hay fever twice last week. That's a big win for me instead of every day. I would really like to work with and for businesses in the sort of like the head office of like a footy club or something like that. Like just I would like to have a chat with them actually, just to see how if they want to utilize our services. But yeah, still in the sporting industry. So this week I'm looking to connect with those types of people. Up next is Hayley.
Good morning, everyone. I am your marketing graduate, almost, from Monash Uni, and I'm the social media marketer here in Malvern, Victoria. My disc profile is networker, so not surprising, I love to talk. My wins for the week were doing my presentation, which went well, I think, and I'd like to work with and for businesses in the creative content industry. So this week, looking for anyone like photographers or content creators to bring along. Next up is Emily.
Hi, my name is Emily. I am a marketer here in Holland Park, Brisbane. I am a Dify social media marketer, graduated from Rutgers University, and I'm currently studying at Griffith. I've been in Brisbane since January. I'm originally from New Jersey. My disc profile is also coach. I guess that's a popular one here. And my wins for the week are I had a meeting with a web developer, an SEO, and an IT guy from my chapter. So that sounds like a good power team that we might be forming. And I would like to work with and for people who also trades. Like we need a painter in our chapter. So thanks. Up next is Hannah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hannah, and I'm a marketing graduate from QT, and I'm your Diffy social media marketer here in Brisbane, Queensland, where I've lived, worked, and played for 8 years. My win for the week would be the audit and consult with Awards Australia as well. My disc profile is coach again as well, so sort of a people problem solver, likes working with people, which is me. And this week I'm looking to connect with a florist. My chapter really wants to try get a florist to join. So looking for a connection to anyone who knows a florist in the local area. Next up is Ben.
We've already given an update on Jake, so hopefully he will be with us shortly, as in next week.
Good morning, everyone. I am your marketing, advertising, and PR graduate from ECU. I'm your Diffy social media marketer here in Wanneroo, Perth, where I've lived for the past 14 years. My disc profile is not coach. It is dynamo, which apparently I have a habit of. It can seem intimidating. So I've got to keep aware of that. I didn't think it was that much of a problem. My wins for the week. Our power team meetings are working. We had the most visitors for last week. Our power team invited 6 people. We had 6 visitors last week, and all of them were invited by our power team. So that was a big win. So this week, I'd really like to work for and with. I'd actually like to be connected to plumbers as well, because our chapter is still looking for a plumber too. Up next is the departing Evelyn.
Good morning, everyone. I'm your business management graduate from the University of Sydney. I'm from Perth, Western Australia, where I've lived, worked, and played for most of my life. And my disc profile is also coach, actually. I'm pretty surprised we all are so similar.
And what are you going to miss most about us, Evelyn?
What am I going to miss most about us? I think, definitely the Monday mornings is my favorite, surprisingly. It's really fun getting to know you. And actually, I do want to connect with you guys on Facebook, because I think I've tried to keep things all on the Diffy Facebook, and definitely stay connected with everyone.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Awesome.
Up next is Adrian.
Thanks. That was amazing in that somehow Anthony and Hannah's internet, you're back, Anthony.
Yeah. Oh, I was literally here from 20 past 10 trying to connect.
Oh, really?
But my laptop just was having a seizure.
And just for so that everybody knows, because clearly we haven't listened enough in the past, where is your parents' property?
It's called Durringile, which is like near Shepparton.
Oh, it is near Shep. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. But no wonder you don't exactly give the so Durringile. I've never heard of that.
DHURRINGILE.
Has it got a post office?
Nope.
No. Has it got a pub?
No. It's got a school with about 10 kids.
There's a prison.
And a tennis court and a prison. Correct.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Who knew that?
I just looked it up, and that was the first thing that came up, prison.
There you go. Oh, wow. There you go. That's a tough neighbourhood. All right, Adrian.
Are we skipping the section this week, Steve?
Nah, let's not skip it.
No?
I think we've got time. We're okay.
Okay. So instead of asking what everyone's individual disc profile was, I was going to ask if anyone knows how many coaches we have here. Anyone?
4?
Yes, I think that's right. 4. Evelyn?
4 coaches. Good question.
Okay, and is Emily putting her hand up, or?
She's the polite one.
You had 5?
Yeah. I think I've got 5 as well. 2, 3,
Yeah, it was Evelyn, Hannah, me, Anthony, and Andy.
And I think I did a different profile, because my one only gave me the types of character. It doesn't actually tell me my overriding helicopter like you guys get. Anyway, I might need to redo it. I figure I might be slightly coachy as well.
Okay, Hannah, what was Hayley's win for the week?
Hayley's win for the week was her doing her presentation.
Yes.
That's right.
Right?
Very good.
And Andy, who was Emily looking to connect with?
I did not hear.
Have a guess, because quite a few people mentioned the same. Even Lisa G.
Just say tradies.
Tradies? Did you say tradies?
Yes, go to trades.
Yeah.
Trades.
It was a
Yeah.
painter specifically.
I tried to.
All right. Given
Yes.
Anthony wasn't sort of around to do the early parts, I reckon Anthony can lead the stretch. What do you reckon?
Oh, I need a stretch. I'm
Yeah.
bloody sore from the gym.
Yep. So
Like,
you can lead us
and I
in our stretch, please.
just do the neck, a little tilt to the side, just gently. Don't hurt yourself. And then the other side. And you can roll around. Yeah. And then shake the arms out. All nice and loose. There we go.
Were you? When did you come back in the car? When did you get back?
It was Thursday night.
Oh, okay, so you're not
Yeah.
needing to stretch out from the car then.
Nah. I didn't want to risk the BNI with that internet.
Right. Rightio. Oh yeah, true. Your internet was up there was tough. That's why I did forewarn people that was the case. Rightio. So I would just go back to sharing my screen. I still haven't had a look at your TikTok from last week, Emily. She tells me it was the best ever. What was the backing track?
Something about wearing a mask. It was about the mask. I think Haley.
There you go. All right. Just as far as this week, just with the one-to-ones, the main sort of focus that came through, we were just all trying to get our email signature picker, just making sure that's all on brand. We just keep a big consistency, which I think we've now all done. And then the other thing was just the updated BNI template that Haley kind of used last week, and I'm going to use for myself this week, which is what I thought I'd just quickly show you now. So nothing to see here other than that I've got my handsome out of COVID picture up now instead of my hoodie Steve. Nothing to see here realistically. The main change on this one now is just reflecting that we do have more than Blue Dragon and .com mob, so clearly a number of you still there, but then with the other charities, the giving that you're involved with, so make sure you just highlight that when you're talking about have fun, do good, and probably when you're presenting, rather than sort of picking, this is my favorite, what you might do is our overriding is have fun, do good. One of the ones that I'm really passionate about is passion. That just happens to be the next one. What I liked when Haley presented was the fact that she took a lot of words out here, right? So in actual fact, she still used the words around protecting your brand and making sure that you valued your social media as assets. So she did talk to the points, but she didn't have it cluttering the screen. So it kind of makes it easier to sort of go through those dot points. Let's face it. If we can get them remember two out of four of the dot points from an objectives point of view, we're probably winning. The main thing is people come to us because they want to increase business, clearly. But this protect, differentiate, and be top of mind. I like the way that Haley presented that last week at her chapter. It's a very minor tweak, but I did mention it before, just making a note that we are an innovative business. We do accept coin and that we are getting interest. That's a very fast growing space. And so we are getting interest through that. So just maybe mention that in your presentations. Melissa's actually going to come along and join my presentation on Friday, which is pretty super good. Nothing really on the model other than to say just I'm loving the fact that all of you are picking up and sort of reading the model. It doesn't feel like a student speaking anymore, right? It sort of feels like picking just the things that really resonate for you, and just talking in columns, right? So talk in the fact that this is our business model, right? Small business consider this a business model. It happens to be a marketing model, but it's also a business, and social media sits up here. We start with the person, but then we move to the business. We use a repurposing strategy, which I love. Haley can say it a lot better than me in terms of, I love the way she sort of said that that's why we're affordable. We don't create your content because we can get others and we can refer others to create your content for the website. We're affordable because of that, right? And then we know that less than 13% have any strategy, which is what we are looking at the moment. 13% of small business have no strategy. This is a strategy, right, people? If you want to know more about this strategy, talk to me, Haley, Emily, so on, right? Just talk about this is a strategy. We've had this model going for a long time now. This is all about so what we do when we're presenting to our chapter, we try and pick ones that actually the chapter have had some involvement with, right? So Smoke and Shisha happened to come from the web guy in my chapter, and the rest of these are largely B&I based referrals, right? So you want the chapter members to be looking at this and going, oh yeah, I know people like this, right? By the way, Vale, my Uncle Peter, which is a bit sad, but it was kind of nice that I'd shared the fact that I had Uncle Peter and Auntie Peter. But in here, for me, clearly, I'm about sharing the fact that I'm working with you guys across Australia now. For you guys, you would probably localize that to where your territory is. So, Ben, you would be very focused on Perth-type pictures, Perth-type businesses, and so on, wherever you're located, right? And then we just have a sort of thank you slide. Haley's fortunate she had a 10-minute, often in most of the chapters. So mine's a 6 minutes. So you do have to fairly fly through this, right? So try not to get stuck on the first couple of slides, particularly. All right, awesome. So it's my pleasure again just to welcome Lisa. I feel like I've known Lisa for a good few years now. But mainly I think through the BNI initially, although I think we both presented to a Wyndham group of new businesses through Adrian Jobson at one stage. That was probably the first time.
I think that's the first time I met you.
Yeah, that's right. So that was back in the day when it was offline, which was only 2 to 3 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, right? And Lisa's a really good friend of our business. She has introduced a number of people to us. So we love having people that are our BNI besties come along and say hello and just sort of share a little bit about their journey, but also give some of the good oil that they use for the businesses that they work with, maybe. And every time I've heard Lisa present, it's always fantastic. So,
thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I was going to say, when you were showing your business model with the house and there was a social media up in the corner, that's pretty much the first thing that I do with all my clients. So when they come in, just to give you an idea, when they come in, we do a strategy mapping session. And it pretty much takes all the departments of what a perfect 10 out of 10 business looks like and then compare their business to that. And you'd be surprised, still surprises me, it would surprise Steve all the time, how many small businesses don't have any structure around their business. They don't know what their business model is. They don't even know their numbers. They don't know they don't have a bookkeeper or anything. They don't know how much profit they made this year. So where you guys take social media and pull it apart and fine tune it for them, I take all of the departments, including their marketing, and find out what they need to fine tune. And then if I can't help them with that department, if it's really niche, I'm pretty much a generalist. I can help them with everything a little bit, but then I will send them to you guys to really get their social media on track. Or I'll send them to a bookkeeper. Okay, you really got to get these numbers sorted. Okay, so I would say that when you're working with someone, when you've got a client and you notice that there are things not quite running smoothly in their business, you can send them to other people and it makes you look awesome. So what I've found is as I go through my clients and we find gaps and I help them and I say, now I've helped you this much, but now you need a specialist. You need to talk to this person or this person, and I can connect you. The more I can connect them with other specialists and professionals, the better it makes me look. So if you can connect people, your clients, with lots of awesome specialists, it makes you look like you're really connected. You're in the know. You've got your fingertips on all the pulse of business in your area. Makes you look good, right? Which is great about BNI. It connects you and gives you some great people that you can refer to. So what I wanted to share with you today, though, is something for you. And I wanted to talk about the 5 main reasons that people will self-sabotage. So this is about you as well as the people that you work for and work with and play with. Okay, everyone does this. And generally, when we want to be successful in something, there are these little voices in the back of our head that will tell us reasons that we shouldn't. Oh, don't go and do that BNI presentation because whatever your little voice tells you, right? But there's generally 5 really main reasons that we stop ourselves from moving forward or cause problems for ourselves that actually don't need to be problems. So I'm going to run through those 5 and you might want to write them down. So the first one is some people are addicted to the drama. And you might know someone who's like this, or you might even recognize it in yourself. So we all have done this at some point, right? We love drama. That's why we watch reality TV. It's our outlet. And if we can use drama healthfully so no one gets hurt, then that's great. But some people over-exaggerate it and use drama unhealthily. And it gets in the way of their life and it gets in the way of other people. So, for example, you know, and if you're standing in the office and everyone's standing around the water cooler, there's always that one person that likes to gossip, and they gossip and gossip, and it ends up turning into a drama in the whole office because everyone's talking about this one piece of gossip. That is bad drama. It's negative drama, right? This person is creating that drama to basically get attention or to be seen, or because they just need drama because everything's too quiet and too smooth. So think about it. Who do you know that's like that? So then second one is a certainty junkie. We all like to procrastinate, but what are we really doing when we procrastinate? There's a saying that you can have certainty, but if you have certainty, you don't have adventure and variety. So it's good to have a balance of both. Variety, people that love variety, like love to jump out of planes and jump cliff, what do you call it? Cliff jumping, base jumping. They're variety junkies, right? Some people that are certainty junkies, it really gets in the way of them moving forward, taking little risks, always getting out and about and staying home and staying safe. So we play safe, we stay with our tribe, and it stops us from being our very best. Unfortunately, in Australia, we really don't encourage people to shine. We encourage them to stay safe. We don't like the tall poppy. So who do you know, or is it you, that loves certainty and likes to just stay in their home and not go out? Or maybe stay in their safe space and not do that BNI presentation, or not have that one-to-one with that person that seems a little bit scary. Yeah, step outside your comfort zone. So the third thing that we sabotage with ourselves a lot with success is when we avoid responsibility. And there's reasons. Sometimes we're just brought up to not want responsibility. But generally, if we're trying to avoid responsibility, it's just a fear in ourselves. It's a fear, perhaps, of outgrowing the people that we're already close to. Or it's a fear that maybe if I evolve as a leader or evolve and have more money, people won't like me anymore. Whatever that fear is, it's different for every person. I have a real estate, or had a real estate agent once, who was avoiding getting out there and being the great boss that he could be. And the fear behind that was that I don't want to be like all those other bossy real estate agents. So he was avoiding that responsibility just because of this one little fear that he had in his head that he was going to end up a real asshole like the rest of them. So we worked through that, but it's just a fear. You and I know that he doesn't have to be like them. He can still take on responsibility without being like the rest of them. He can be himself. So what is your fear? What does that little niggling voice tell you that causes you to not want to do things, or causes you to stop and think before you do it? Now, another way we sabotage ourselves is when we model ourselves after poor examples. So don't model yourself after someone who's not that good at what they do. Okay? Or if you're going to choose someone, think, oh, I really like how they do that, I want to be like them. Just make sure that it's real. You all know, being in social media and marketing, that not everything you see is actually the truth. So just make sure that that person that's sprouting, oh, I made a 6-figure income by doing this, actually does make a 6-figure income. Yeah? Or, something like that. Or that supermodel actually isn't photoshopped. Because you can't model something that actually doesn't happen, isn't real. And the last one is not having a purpose. What's your purpose? Why are you working? And why are you working with Steve? What's the purpose of that? Yeah, the purpose is so that you can have money and go out, or have money and do whatever you want to do with it. But what's the purpose of that? Why do I want to do that? Let's just say, okay, the purpose of me working is so that I can get a puppy. I really want to have a pet and I can't afford it. So I'm going to keep working until I've got enough money in the bank to have that beautiful pedigree puppy dog. Okay, but what's the purpose of having the puppy dog? Why do I want it? And what's it going to give me? That's the true purpose. That's what we want to connect our clients to as well. What's the purpose of your social media? Steve, I'd like to foster a greyhound too.
Who won't let me?
Yeah. So what's the purpose of that client having social media? Right? They'll say, oh, because I just want to have more followers. I just want to have more clients. I want to organically grow my business. Awesome. But why? Why do you want to do it that way? What's the purpose of organically growing your business? Or what's the purpose of having more followers? Tell me the real why. Right? Just dig a little bit deeper, because that may not change what you do for them, but it's certainly going to change the way they look at you. It's going to change how they connect with you, and how they will always want Hannah doing their social media for them forever, instead of someone else that comes knocking on their door next week, offering them something better. Okay, purpose is the key. Just keep asking why. Okay, that's great, but why? What's that going to give you? Any questions about those 5? Anything stand out for you guys?
Maybe take mics off, and I guess a polite round of applause.
In.
That was great. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you. Did anything
questions?
stand out? Yeah.
I think the purpose, not having a purpose, was like, I follow that. Like, you must have a purpose to do stuff.
I jumped around. I found before I started coaching, I was always in sales, marketing, like selling, advertising, that sort of stuff. And before that, I was in the fitness industry. And my routine was I would never end up staying in a job for longer than about 2.5 years. If I made 3 years, whoa, that was really good for me, right? And I started to realize it's because I would have a purpose or a why for selling that product or whatever it was for about 12 months, 18 months, and then it got boring. Like the purpose was gone. Okay, the excitement is gone. I've got to move on somewhere and find some other new why. Coaching, I've been in coaching now for 6-7 years, and the why's there. I'm always, so you've got to have that connection to why you're doing it. You've got to have something that feeds back into your heart.
Yeah, I think that's no truer word said. I think also everybody in the room is very aware that for us, we're very specific, but we often get that. Ben and I are forever having these conversations where people will ask for things that we don't do. And we have to explain we do these things because Ben wrote it in capitals last week, right? So he is a social media marketing communications specialist. We specialize in social media communications and Facebook advertising. We don't do email marketing. We don't do your website. We don't do your business coaching. At the end of the day, we're marketers. Yes, there's probably elements that we could do, but we're specializing in a certain thing because, as per our conversation, Ben, yeah, if we were to do all those other things for a start, you probably couldn't afford us because we'd probably charge 10 times more. And secondly, realistically, there is others that are better placed to do your video and your photography and your copywriting back on your website. So realistically, there's a reason we don't do things as well. So I think, and that reason is specialization. We're very specialized in what we do, and there's a purpose for that, right? It's because we want you to get the best out of the social media marketing and Facebook advertising. And even in a B&I context, we want you to go to the best people. I agree with you 100%, Lisa. You're the first person in the chain, realistically, and we all know that in the business, you're the bottom of the house. If you don't have your business strategy and your model and your structure in place, then we can't help you realistically. At the end of the day, we may just make you fail faster. So, which is a bit of we use that a little bit, right? Is that we need you to have your act together. We need you to speak to Lisa. And similarly with the web development side of things, if your website is really terrible, then maybe update it at the same time as you're going to update all your social media, because otherwise, again, it's not going to be great for you working with us if you've got a shocking website presence. Yeah. So, that's one of the reasons really just to have you here today, Lisa, and that was fabulous, is because realistically, you are at the start of the food chain. Often people come to us and think we're the start. No, we're not. You need to speak to others, and it's a lot better for us if they speak to you first. At the same time, we can help people, but we just need to know that they're on a journey that, yeah, we can help you, but you really need to do some certain other things as well in your business.
Yeah, it just clarifies their message, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're much clearer on what they want to achieve and why they want to achieve it and what their message and their brand is supposed to be before you put in all the hard work.
Anyone else got any questions or feedback for Lisa?
So did anyone see? Yeah. Any questions about business coaches? Because a lot of people don't know what they do. So.
Nothing from me. Yeah.
Actually, I have a question. So what's the initial, is it?
So when I ask you, which one of those things do you think you do?
Me.
Sorry, say that again.
Oh, there must be a bit of a lag going on.
Sorry, I just glitched out for a second.
Yeah, I think Andy was saying.
I think it was Andy.
Andy
Who
had
was
some
talking
feedback.
then?
Andy had some feedback.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just asking, how do you start the process? Is it just the one-to-one and then you go on from there?
Yeah. So generally it'll be I'll be introduced to someone and they may think that they've got their business perfect, or they might be a mess and they know that they need help already. And so we just have a 30-minute conversation, sort through what's happening for you, where do you want to be, and what's getting in the way. And from there, from that conversation, I suggest to them that we do a strategy mapping. So I don't know if you can see behind me, my whiteboard here is an example of a strategy mapping that I did for someone yesterday or on Friday. So basically we spend 2 hours, just like Steve does when he first has a client, we spend 2 hours, like I said, pulling apart every department of their business. And that 2-hour session then gives them a map, a roadmap to go away with and fix themselves, or they can use me to help them fix it. But they've got a map now and they can see where all the gaps are. I actually had one person come to me and we did the map and everything was fantastic. And he said, that's great, because now I know. Awesome. I feel secure now. I know that everything's good. There was one little gap there and one little problem there. I can fix those. Great. So that first 2-hour strategy session is really important.
Great.
Awesome. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, everybody.
All good.
Lisa,
thanks, guys.
There's a few things. Firstly, Lisa is clearly on LinkedIn. So,
hey, did you like the jumper in my photo, by the way?
Of course, that's why we put it there. That's a fantastic jumper in your photo.
Did you notice
West
the
side
jumper?
West side. Yeah, that's a bit of Diffy Social merch right there on the right hand side of that picture. What I was you throw me now, Lisa. You're looking good. That was your winter wear, right? You were doing that for all your exercise. You told me, which is pretty cool. What I was going to say to people, please connect. Lisa, you're happy for people to connect with you on LinkedIn. And Lisa went along to Adrian's BNI last week. Generally speaking, she's, as I said, good friend of us, and a really, really approachable, and certainly, if there's opportunities as well, for your chapter, that you do know. A very good business coach now. You've met one, and it's just someone to have in your network, to actually be able to share with others. Because I think, as she said, you're doing people a favor when you put people into touch with good people, right? That know what they're doing and what they're sharing. So awesome. So on our next slide, I won't spend too much time on this other than to say that I'll need to update next month with other people's screenshot of where they're sitting on their chapters traffic lights. Adrian and I pretty much are maintaining the rage in terms of in green, and both of our chapters are nice and green, which is good. So it'll be interesting to start seeing how other chapters are looking as well in terms of with their with their traffic lights. So that's that side of things. Keep doing good things. I think was it Hannah or Emily? One or both of you, with only 2 weeks in, and you're already sitting outside of the red and black side of things. State of plays this week. So we'll see you. We'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully I'll get in touch with Jake, just touch base, see how he is. But I'll try and get Jake on the Victorian call, Queensland. I think Ben, probably just to have in mind, what we might finish up doing is if you're able to, jumping on the Queensland 5 o'clock, which would be 2 o'clock your time. Maybe not for this week, but for upcoming weeks, if that's okay. Just consider that. And we've already had a chat.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep, that sounds good. Awesome, thanks, Ben. We've already talked about the fact we really just have Anthony to get sorted in Melbourne and Jake to complete the application in Adelaide, and we should be all good. Now on here, I have booked for I'm Just a Man event. Any last? No one. I am going on my Todd Malone with that one, but that's okay. There is plenty of others. Are you going to that, Lisa, by any chance? The I'm Just a Man event? I'm sure I'll know people there. Oh. And so then the other couple of things just to touch base. You can probably take mics off now, guys, except for Huong, who I think is tapping on her screen and is typing frantically. So yeah, feel free to take the mics off. We're pretty much, the session is about to become a two-way dialogue again. The All In Meet. So in Melbourne, we'll aim to have a face-to-face brunch on the 30th, which would be the last Monday. Is also Oliver's birthday, so maybe I'll have to take some cake. We'll try and find a venue here in Melbourne to do that. And I haven't put it on there, but we'll also between probably in the first or second week, we'll do a lunch for Christmas. Now, clearly that will be an interesting mix of online and offline, and I'll have to work out what you guys want to do in the non-Victorian states. But I think we're done. Let's go around the room. Hey, Adrian, I'll start with yourself. What's happening for the rest of the week?
Yeah, I'm experiencing some lag or something's happening on my end, so everything's not coming through clear. But my week, we're starting our Facebook group for my BNI chapter, our my contact sphere. So we're getting that started this week. So we'll have another meeting on Friday with them. And I've got a couple one-to-ones booked in as well. I just got my scheduling today to finish off, and I've got to reconnect my the Dify Social Melbourne. I've got to reconnect that on if then and that again. That's disconnected. Other than that, I just got my BNI and engagement and stuff on Wednesday. So, Andy, how's your week looking?
I have normal scheduling, and Steve, if you can hang back for a few minutes, I got a few problems that need troubleshooting. Other than that, yeah, I'm good.
Hayley?
Just have to finish off some scheduling. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet week. Let's do some stuff for BNI, some CEUs.
You had some good inquiries after your meeting too, which was good.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Hannah?
I've just got my BNI Wednesday. I need to organise some one-to-ones, get my presentation ready for when I present next week to you all, and hopefully hear back about a setup and planning from Awards Australia, and that's it for me.
Anthony?
Just scheduling, and Steve, we just need to talk about the BNI prosperity.
Yep. Do you want to do that after this meeting, or do you want to?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
Emily?
yeah, my internet's been really terrible, so I apologize. But I just have my BNI and Go for Green meeting on Tuesday. I have a pretty light week, which is good. Thanks.
Looks like we lost Lisa.
Yeah, she was frozen, but she might try refreshing. Let's see.
The internet hasn't been working for obviously a lot of people.
Mm.
My audio is not good.
Yeah.
And yeah, same here. Ben, I think you were dropping out a bit. If you can hear me.
Yeah, my connection is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
So I'll keep this as short as I can because half the people are frozen on the screen. I've got my BNI on Thursday. I'm having a chat with the carpet cleaner on the Thursday because we just got an ad made from me, my friend who did video. So I'm going to get him to not post on his Facebook page and have a chat first about actually doing a setup session with us. And then I've done my scheduling, engagement on Wednesday, and I've got to do my power team invites for visitors tomorrow, along with my BNI learning thing. CEU. Yeah, that's it for this week.
Is it slightly unusual that my connection's been absolutely peachy throughout? So the recording should be really good if you guys want to watch it in playback. Huong is it? Have we missed anybody? Or Evelyn will say hello to in a second. But Huong, did you want to say a quick hello?
I think just
Oh, sorry, go Adrian. Yeah.
I was just going to say, Evelyn, if she has any sort of last minute goodbyes or anything she wants to say.
Last minute goodbyes. I mean, I'm sure I'll still keep in contact. So if anyone wants to say anything, I'm happy to talk. Like, I don't think this is goodbye.
It's been great having you with us, Evelyn. If I love being able to say that someone from my school was with me, but I'll still be able to say that. It's just that, they're still floating around.
Yeah, just reminds me that it's a small world out there.
It is a small world. Okay. Huong, did you want to say a quick hello? Are you connected?
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. I'm not sure what I have to say because I'm not doing any of the social media or going to any of the BNI meetings. I feel a bit out of place. I thought I jump in to listen to the presentation for a bit and see how everyone is going. But I've been hearing a lot of updates from Steve practically on a daily basis. So I feel like I'm talking to you every day. And I literally see everyone, well, many of you as I rush in and out of the garage every week. Anyway, happy summer and have a nice week, everyone.
You too.
All right. Well, that sounds like it's we can draw a line under the meeting, and then I'll hang back if anybody. I think Andy and Anthony, if you want to